Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm creating a beautiful high-end spring birdhouse, and the best part is it's a Dollar Tree DIY and it's budget friendly. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Tonya. Welcome to my channel, and I do hope you all like, share, and subscribe. Now today I'm introducing my birdhouse series. Number 1 is the wren's nest. Let's go ahead and get started. Now for this design, everyone, you're going to need 6 of these larger signs. Now, a few of them I had already cut down with my chop saw, so I'm just going to measure them and cut the other 2 down. And your utility knife, if you have one of the heavy duty, works fine. You can cut this and then just kind of break it off and then clean up the edges. But you will need 6 of these. And what I'm going to do with these is we're going to build this big birdhouse. And everyone, these signs, they have all year long at Dollar Tree. Of course, you probably know if you shop there. And they are wonderful for creating these larger designs. Now, I'm going to cut the little part off for each side of this birdhouse. And these are about 6 inches. And then I cut my longer boards right around 21 inches. I think it was like 21 1/4. But everyone, you can make this any size that you want. I am actually going to do my birdhouse series to put above my cabinets in the kitchen. This is something I have been wanting to do. So all week I'm going to be working on these birdhouses, and I'm going to do some of them with the thrift store items, and I'm also going to be doing some of these with the Dollar Tree items. Now today we're working with the Dollar Tree. Now, once you get all your pieces cut out, we're going to start putting it together. And I'm just going to kind of walk you through this because I think that you are going to really enjoy making one of these. So the first thing I'm going to do is just use one of the little tumbling tower blocks, and we're going to use that to put this whole design together. I used hot glue, and then I'm going to be taking the wood glue after I get them supported by the hot glue and the tumbling tower blocks. And I'm going to be adding several of these in with the wood glue, and this is the Gorilla wood glue, so I knew that it was going to hold really well. But everyone, this was so budget friendly, and it turned out so beautiful as you saw in the beginning. So I really hope that you enjoy this, and I hope that you stay with me through the end so you can see how I have it displayed. Now you can see I was just really putting several little pieces along there, and I also glued along the edge of the seam, and that sealed everything in really well. And I haven't had any problem with it. It felt really sturdy the next day. And all of the items, everyone, except for my handles that I had picked up at a thrift store a long time ago. And you could really put anything on the front underneath the little bird holes. And I just happened to have those, and I thought they looked great with this design, so I just kind of added those in. Now, like I said, I would really do this kind of similar to what I'm doing it. Just make sure you have several of the wood glue pieces on this design, and that will hold everything in. And don't forget to add in that little strip of hot glue like I'm going to do right here. I'd already done the other side, and that really makes this secure. But everyone, let me know in the comments if you're excited to see me do a series. I've got probably 5 more of these birdhouses that I want to create. And like I said, I have picked out some beautiful inspiration pieces from Pinterest and just different places. And we're really going to make these look really pretty and high-end. So if that is something that makes you happy, I know this is making me happy for sure to create these. See if you can find one of those little birdhouse emojis and just pop that there. And let me know if you love to decorate inside your home with birdhouses, because I always have several of the birdhouses and bird feeders outside. And you can see I did the same thing with the sides of this one. I was just using a little bit of hot glue and getting it started, and then I go in with the wood glue and just get everything glued on secure. But everyone, I can't tell you how excited I am to share the designs that I have coming up this week with you. And like I said, it's going to be my birdhouse series this week. And the Wren's house is my first design. And I'm not sure which one I'm going to do next, but I will be uploading that one on Thursday. Now, I may have a pop-up video for you on Tuesday, but I'll let you know in the community post about that one. Now I'm going to go ahead and start trying to get my roof of the birdhouse on, and you could see what I did. I ended up just leaning that. I took some of the hot glue, one of the little blocks, and then those little pieces underneath there that you see, they were just some small cutting boards that I found in the Crafter Square section, but you could use a wood block or anything you have. I just needed something to allow me to lean the roof down to a slant. And of course, I'm just putting all kinds of that Gorilla wood glue there, and I'm gonna just reach up under there and lay the back part of the roof. And that didn't bother me that it had a gap there, because I was more worried about the front being the way I wanted it. And that's why I did that like that. Now what I'm doing here is I'm taking this bamboo stick. Everyone, buy these at Dollar Tree while they have them. These are so handy to have in your craft stash. And I'm just using it to make some lines. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna make this look like it is wood boards. And I love this technique. So if you haven't tried this one, give it a try. Because once I get these lines drawn on here, I am going to take hot glue and just run over top of these lines. And when you paint over this, it gives the illusion that these are overlapped boards. And I think that just gives this birdhouse, sets a beautiful, beautiful look to it. And just take your time when you're doing this. Just go really slow if you need to. Of course, I've got this sped up a little bit, so I'm really not going this quick on this. And so take your time as you're drawing these lines on. And you want to let that hot glue dry really well before you apply any paint. And I did, I let mine dry. But look at this, I'm going to hold it up. And you can see how it really is going to look like there's boards on there. But everyone, I love this technique, so definitely give that one a try if you haven't. Now, I took another one of the boards and I wanted to make a base just to give it a little more something to make it have more of a realistic look like a birdhouse. So I'm just going to be taking some of that Gorilla wood glue and just putting that right there with a little hot glue in between. And I just kind of scoot it just back enough, you'll see when I hold it up here, just to make it look like there is a base there. And what I end up doing is taking some of my brown paint and just painting that bottom, and it sets perfectly fine without there being two boards under there, because we're going to be putting some feet on the birdhouse. And like I said, I'm going to use it above my cabinet. Now I'm using that DIY crockery color paint. And everyone, look at this. Once you get this painted, even with one coat of paint, it completely changed this. You'll never know that it was those Dollar Tree boards under there. But what a budget-friendly way to create such a beautiful piece of home decor. Now, you see, I'm just dragging that truffle color of acrylic chalk paint through there, and I just wanted to get that brown there, and I'll even add a little bit more, but I got out the swan white color from the DIY paint, and I'm just going to start brushing that, and you can see the more I get on there, the lines of the glue is really starting to come alive and starting to make it look like boards. But what really does it is when I add the black wax on top of here, and that just really makes everything come to life on this design. And then I decided just to add dabs of white here, and make sure you dry everything really well in between each part that you're creating. And I had that leftover truffle, so that's why I just wanted to finish my bottom. I knew no one was going to see it, but I knew, so I had to finish it. And then I had some little wine corks, and I decided to glue those on the bottom to use as feet. But oh, I forgot. First, we're going to go back over this one more time with some of that white before I end up adding the black lines. I think I was just trying to get that kind of bright. I was really liking the contrast of that truffle color and then the birdhouse itself. So I did the front and the sides with the white paint. But everyone, isn't it turning out beautiful already? I was so happy with this. Now I picked up this little plastic bottle with the lid at Dollar Tree in that Craft Your Square section, and we're going to draw on the holes for the birdhouse, and I wanted it to have 4 different holes across the front of here. And you just kind of have to scoot around your little humps of hot glue because we're going to be removing those when we fill in our little bird hole with some of the black paint. And I'm just lightly measuring. I just wanted to make sure that I get these kind of the same width apart, and I end up pulling that long bamboo stick out again, and that really helps you where you can hold it to the bottom of the one that you've already drawn out, and that way you have a guide that you can draw around the one on the other end. But everyone, those little lids on those little plastic bottles they have right now, they are the perfect size for most of the little birdhouse holes. And like I said, I'm just going to kind of eyeball this and scoot it where I want it to be. And I think you might have saw in my last video where I paint these in and then I add in the shadow part to make it look like there is a real opening. And I'm going to zoom in on that for you so you can see that. And look how easy that little piece of glue just pops right up. And now we can go ahead and we can paint in our little bird holes. And everyone, if you didn't catch it in the last video, I'll leave it linked. This is that black Indian ink, and you will love this. It is really flowy, and it just spreads so nicely when you're doing detail work like this. So I really suggest getting it. I've never found anything that works as well as this does. And I'm just gonna paint all of these in, and then we're going to zoom right in there again and create our little shadow. Now I had a little bit of that creamy paint and I just mixed it right in my lid. I know I shouldn't do that, but it turned into kind of a gray color, and you can see all you do when you're doing this is just start at the top or the bottom, and you just want to do like that little crescent moon shape right there on one side, and it makes it look like there is a real opening. Now I just highlighted that with some black just to give that contrast. But everyone, look how real these little holes look for these little birds. Now we're going to take that black paint and go across her. That actually is the black wax that I picked up from the DIY paint. It looks a little lighter on camera. And you can see once I start adding that on top of that glue, it really makes this look like the wood boards. And if you get too much on there like I did, just touch it up with a little bit of your white paint or fill it in. I mean, you really can't make a mistake on this because wood boards have so many little kind of scrappy looking little marks and things in there anyway. And then I just decided to highlight the roof area with some of that black and just detail it is what I was really going for. And then I decided I was going to use cup hooks because I wanted to make it look like it had some wire across the top. And I was lucky enough to pick up some old rusty wire at a thrift store many years ago. And I have held on to that, and I use it for different little designs. And I just end up closing the little cup hooks up, and then I just add on a piece of wire. Now I do hot glue this and make it stand up. But everyone, look how beautiful this is looking, and I don't even have the decorations on yet. Now I'm going to take those little wine corks, and you can see how that board, you only needed one on the bottom, and took some more of that Indian ink black paint and just painted those little legs. And everyone, it could not have been cuter. I have it actually setting up already in my kitchen. Now, these are just some silver knobs that handles actually, that I had in my craft stash, and I painted them with that Indian ink black paint again. Definitely got to get some of that. And look how beautiful that made this look. I think that's what just took it to the next level and made it look like a really high-end piece of decor. Now, this is some of those little die cut-out pieces from Dollar Tree. And this one's actually supposed to be like a clock. And these are those pieces that they had over there in the beach section, and I just picked those up this week. And don't these make great little toppers for items like what we're creating today? So what I ended up doing is I'm just going to hot glue this, and I wasn't sure if it was going to stay, but I ended up putting the E6000 underneath the edge of it and on the back, and it held perfect, everyone. But this is adorable the way it is, but I wanted to dress mine up a little bit, and I had picked up this greenery from Dollar Tree back a few weeks ago, and I love how this reminds me of the weeping willow tree, and I just thought that this would be so appropriate to put on the top of the birdhouse, like maybe the birdhouse was hanging underneath a tree. And I really just placed these where they would kind of fall to the front. And I thought that made this look so pretty. Now I put that little bit of moss there because it kind of helped give me something to glue my little greenery to, and it held in a lot better when I did that. And everyone, I love this so much with just the greenery, but you'll see at the end, like you did in the beginning, I had to put some birds on here, and I'll talk to you about those birds. I actually picked those up at Dollar General, and I just detail painted them. But everyone, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this birdhouse. Here it is displayed out in my studio, and I think this is such a wonderful little keepsake piece for me. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, don't forget to leave me a little birdhouse emoji in the comments. And everyone, I hope you have a wonderful and blessed Easter weekend, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you soon.